What's happening? Hi everyone. There are a few things that can get the blood pumping more than a good stare down. Whether it's in boxing, MMA, track and field, or even rock, paper, scissors. Staring someone down before you go head to head is always an interesting psychological battle in itself. But there is a science behind the stare down, something that most people don't really think about. But it could very well be the deciding factor in who gets their hand raised at the end of the day. In this video, we're going to break down some key points that both competitors use in the stare down and why. So let's get into it. Before the first punch is ever thrown, the fight has already begun. That's right. The moment those two competitors step into the ring, cage, track, or any other place where they're about to go head to head, the fight is started. This is a concept that UFC President Dana White talks about all the time. He knows that when two fighters step into the octagon, there's a war of nerves that takes place long before the opening bell. And he's not the only one who feels this way. It's virtually every competitor, coach and trainer will tell you that the stare downs and everything that goes along with them are a part of the game. A lot of athletes have said that the stare down is an opportunity for them to intimidate their opponent, to show them that they're not afraid. When you look into someone's eyes and you see no fear, it can be intimidating. At the same time though, the stare down is also a chance for the fighter to get inside their opponent's head, to try and figure out if they're scared of them. If you're re-staring someone down and you see that they re-looking away, or that they seem like they not really meeting your gaze, it can make you feel like you already have an advantage. Of course, sometimes this is exactly what a fighter wants you to think, because it's all a part of the game. The last face-to-face confrontation before the action starts is probably one of the most anticipated parts of any event. The stare down between rivals is always one of the best moments. Whether it's Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz, Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa, there are so many great rivalries in combat sports that have produced classic stare downs. The fans are always looking for some sort of premonition of what's going to happen in the fight itself. They want to see some sort of advantage given in the stare down, some sign that one guy has the upper hand. But the reality is that while the stare down does play a part in the overall picture, it isn't everything that people think it is. In fact, according to Dr. Justin Zurich, a psychologist who works with combat sports athletes, the stare down doesn't really mean anything. As he says, it's all in how you interpret it. But regardless of what the experts say, the fans still love it, and the fighters still take it seriously. When two competitors square off before a fight, they're trying to read each other like a book. They're looking for any sign of weakness or fear, anything that might give them an advantage when the fight actually starts. It's common for fighters to try and intimidate their opponents, to show them that they're not afraid. But at the same time, they're also trying to figure out if their opponent is scared of them. If you're re-staring down an opponent and you see that they re-looking away, or that they seem like they not really meeting your gaze, it can make you feel like you already have an advantage. Of course, sometimes this is exactly what a fighter wants you to think, because it's all a part of the game. When two competitors face off in the squared circle or the octagon, it's not uncommon for one of them to try and project an image of confidence while keeping a close eye on their opponent. The goal is to show the other fighter that you not afraid, and to try and intimidate them. In order to do this, many fighters will stand toe-to-toe with their opponent, staring them directly in the eyes. This is a technique that's often used in boxing and mixed martial arts, and it's a way for fighters to show that they're not afraid of their opponent. By standing toe-to-toe and staring into the eyes of their opponent, fighters can communicate that they are confident in their abilities and that they are not intimidated by their opponent. On the flip side, this approach can also be a way to intimidate an opponent by giving them the impression that you are fearless. When two fighters face off in the squared circle or the octagon, it's not uncommon for one of them to try and project an image of confidence while keeping a close eye on their opponent. The goal is to show the other fighter that you are not afraid and to try and intimidate them. In order to do this, many fighters will stand toe-to-toe with their opponent, staring them directly in the eyes. This is a technique that's often used in boxing and mixed martial arts, and it's a way for fighters to show that they're not afraid of their opponent. By standing toe-to-toe and staring into the eyes of their opponent, fighters can communicate that they are confident in their abilities and that they are not intimidated by their opponent. The stare down can also be an opportunity for fighters to try and gain a psychological edge over their opponent. By staring intently at their opponent, fighters can try and project an image of aggression and dominance. This can be especially effective if the fighter is known for being aggressive, or if they have a history of dominating their opponents. When a fighter stares down their opponent with aggression and intensity, it can create a sense of intimidation and fear. As mentioned earlier, it's not just about intimidating your opponent. The stare down is also an opportunity for fighters to try and read their opponent's body language. By carefully observing their opponent's eyes, body posture, and any subtle movements, fighters can try and gauge their opponent's confidence, emotions, and overall state of mind. This information can be crucial in developing a strategy for the fight and knowing what to expect from their opponent. A calm and confident opponent may require a different approach than one who appears nervous or agitated. In addition to reading their opponent's body language, fighters also use the stare down as a chance to focus and center themselves before the fight. It's a moment for them to clear their mind of any distractions and to mentally prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. This can involve taking deep breaths, repeating a mantra, or simply focusing on their opponent. The stare down is an important part of the mental preparation for a fight. By taking a few moments to focus and center themselves, fighters can ensure that they're ready to face whatever challenges their opponent throws their way. So now that we know why the stare down is important, let's take a look at some of the greatest stare downs in combat sports history. Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. The rivalry between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo was one of the most highly anticipated matchups in UFC history. The two fighters had been trading insults and trash talk for months leading up to their fight at UFC 194. When they finally met in the octagon, the tension was palpable. Their stare down was one of the most intense moments of the event. Floyd Mayweather vs. Manny Pacquiao. The Mayweather vs. Pacquiao fight was one of the most hyped boxing matches of all time. Two fighters were at the top of their game, and their styles of fighting were perfectly suited for a classic showdown. In the lead up to the fight, there was a lot of trash talking and posturing. When they finally met in the ring for the stare downs, the intensity was clear. Mike Tyson vs. Evander Holyfield. The Mike Tyson vs. Evander Holyfield matchup was one of the most anticipated boxing matches of the 1990s. Yes, the two fighters were fierce competitors, and their personalities clashed in a big way. Their first fight ended in a controversial disqualification when Tyson was disqualified for biting off a chunk of Holyfield's ear. The rematch was just as intense. The stare downs between the two fighters were filled with animosity and bad blood. Ronda Rousey vs. Cat Zingano. The Ronda Rousey vs. Cat Zingano matchup was one of the most anticipated women's MMA fights of all time. The two fighters were undefeated, and their styles of fighting were perfectly suited for a showdown. In the lead up to the fight, there was a lot of trash talking and posturing. When they finally met in the octagon for the stare downs, the intensity was clear. Khabib Nurmagomedov vs. Conor McGregor. The Khabib Nurmagomedov vs. Conor McGregor fight was one of the most controversial MMA fights of all time. The two fighters were fierce competitors, and their personalities clashed in a big way. The stare downs between the two fighters were filled with animosity and trash talk. So there you have it. Some of the most iconic, intense moments in sports. What do you think? Do you agree with the points we made in this video? Which stare down was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.